This is going to be fun to watch.
Hi guys, M.V.K here. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome back to Wrestling Talk. Um, so I'm here to finally give my thoughts on what's been coming out of the camp of WWE in the professional wrestling game, as always. And once I finish this, guys, then I will start hitting all those requests that I've been getting in PM messages saying, Chris, kid, talk about this, or Chris, do this for Wrestling Talk, something like that. And I promise I'll start hitting those. And Wrestling Talk has officially found the day. This will be the official day for Wrestling Talk, always on Thursdays. So let's get into this. So WWE, once again, as we all always are always aware, that usually right around, most of the time around after WrestleMania or so, that's when we start wondering who's going to get pink slipped or released or things like that from the company. Now, I'm going to give 100%, guys. I'm just going to give my 100% on these release. I'm not going to half-ass anything. I'll tell you, I'm not going to just say, oh, I feel sorry for them, but it's just that, some of them I didn't really care too much about in terms of their character. So it was like, what the hell? So I'm here to finally give some news. I waited a little bit longer to see if there was going to be some other news, other people getting released before I go into detail about this. And there has. Instead of 9, there have been 10 now. There's 10. So I'm going to give my thoughts on each one of them. And so let's do this, shall we? All right. Yeah, guys, yes, the Mohawk is back. Yes, it's back, of course. But let's get into it. Respect the Hawk. Yeah. All right. So first off, we're gonna start ladies first. Let's start ladies first. All right. Cameron was released. All right. When Cameron first appeared on WWE TV, she was a part of the Funkadactyls and everything like that. And even then, I wasn't really staring at her like, ooh, okay, I was really looking at the darker skinned. I was like, okay, who's the dark chocolate over there at the other side? When she got into the ring and she turned on Naomi and things like that, I was just like, this could go somewhere. But what I had was the problem is that her character just felt the generic, that whole I don't need nobody attitude. And I just can't believe I said that. But, it's just like, she self-indulged in herself. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen this done before. Okay, it's not going anywhere. And I heard she really wanted to make this work, and she went back down to NXT. And when she was down in NXT, yeah, especially when I remember when Asuka came in, and Asuka just tore her to pieces. And but I've always felt that her character felt more like she should have been more of a manager, or more of a somebody that was with another talent that was big like her, just somebody like, I felt she was more of that kind of manner than an in-ring competitor, but it's not that I hated her. It's just like, I wish her nothing but the best. Maybe, I'm just gonna put out there, maybe TNA will want her, and maybe she can prove down there in TNA, because just face it, TNA loves to take talent that got released from WWE and put them on their show and maybe start pushing them better than WWE's ever pushed them. So who knows? But it is what it is. I wasn't really too fond of Cameron in that manner of speaking. So that's what it is. Next up, I'm gonna go with let's go with Zeb Colter next. Sorry, Zeb Colter, Dirty Dutch. Yeah. It's not shocking that he was let go. I really wish he did. I mean, they probably could. I felt this kind of hurts because I felt like he could have been put with somebody else, that needed kind of the rub, or maybe even brought down to NXT. In my opinion, could you imagine him with maybe someone like let's see, American Alpha or something like that. You know, it could have worked with them. But you know, I just feel that in a sense, guys, that the wrestling game is losing an aspect to the business that is really needed a resurrection in a sense, a resurgence, and that is managers. Especially for those who, let's say, aren't good on the mic, they let their actions speak better than them, and you got the mouthpiece, which is their manager. And I'm feeling that managers are being lost, and I really wish that was brought back. So Zeb leaving was kind of like a, oh man, why'd y'all let Zeb go? I know he wasn't being used, but sometimes you just gotta try to find something. And for Zeb, Dirty Dutch, I was like, yo, that one kind of hurt. That one really kind of hurt, guys. I was like, yeah, that one could have worked a little bit better. Um, let's go on to King Barrett, or Bad News Barrett. Look, this was another one that, as much as I wanted Barrett to work, you know, he was, when he first came in, I was like, this guy is, man, he can cut on the mic. You know, I wasn't really feeling his finisher. I hated the whatever the yeah, I hated that move. I was just like, it just looks crappy. But I like the bullhammer. I was like, okay, that makes sense. I get it. It's a big elbow, you know, and you know, but let's face it, it was just almost like he gets injured, he comes back, he wins the IC title, and then it was almost like he was holding it. He was just holding it for someone to take it from him. And when he won he won the King of the Ring, which to me Neville should have won. I clearly, me and Malcolm were just like, this ain't. Where's this gonna go? You know, because we've said it personally, like the King of the Ring does nothing anymore for anybody. It does nothing. And seeing where he was later on with the whole, you know, alliance, no, I'm forgetting their name right now. That's just how bad. Like, I don't really care. I didn't even care about that team. And you know, just seeing, you know, like it was always like, why is he not wrestling? Why he's still injured? And it was just like, and then he was getting fed up with his role. And then it was just like, you know, just let him go then. Let him go. And once again, this is another talent. If he can still compete, this is another talent that maybe we may see TNA or Global Force, or hell, I'm not sure. I'll throw Ring of Honor in there, you know, somewhere. Maybe he can cut a little bit on the indie circuit for a while, you know, just somewhere where else that maybe his talents could be utilized better. I really wanted Barrett to be a main eventer. You know, I wanted that, and I was just like, he's so injury prone. Like, he just kept getting injured and injured and injured, and I was just like, man, just let's let him go. You know, just let him go. So yeah, uh, King Barrett. Wish him nothing but the best. Let's talk about. Um, all right, let's talk. Let's get these two out of the way. The smallest competitors, El Torito and Hornswoggle. All right, look. I don't care about Hornswoggle. I never have. When he was the Leprechaun with Finley, I was like, okay, this is a. But this is the guy who won the lightweight title, cruiserweight title, and where'd that go after that? And where'd that division go? You know, I don't blame him necessarily, but it was just like, who okayed that? I'm like, really? And ever since then, it was just like, you know what? I don't care when this guy's on screen. It was just like, I don't care. You know, I don't care. You know, and with El Torito, it's like, look, he was pretty much the mascot for Primo and Epico, or, oh, excuse me, Los Matadores, when they were in their alter egos. But now that WWE has rebooted them back to being who they truly are, now they just got a little chip on their shoulder now, being that they're from Puerto Rico, and, you know, everything there is suave and cool, and, you know, it's better than you. It's just like, what's the use of having El Torito now anymore? It's just like it'd be really kind of stupid to keep him around if and he's still either or he's removed his mask, but now he's more like I'm trying to remember the little guy from Fantasy Island, like the plane and some shit like that. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember his name, but it's just it is what it is. It's just like El Torito. There wasn't more you could do with him outside of being, and you can't just bring in a new tag team to be, the Los Matadors. I mean, they could. I can't say they can't. They could, but we're not stupid. We probably know that's not them. And I saw a comment where they said, why did they just put El Torito with uh, the Lucha Dragons? I'm like, because he's a bull. Unless they change him to El. How do you say dragon in Spanish? What it is what it is. But Hornswoggle, I was like, whatever. Whatever. Um. So yeah, those two, whatever. Not. Just okay. Um. Next up, we have is Santino Marella. I had no idea that he was still. I thought he was not under contract with the company anymore. I thought he would just, he still had kind of affiliation with it, but not in terms of a contract. And I'm like, really? Okay. But, Santino was very much the entertainment side of the company. And, say what you want, but, there were times he could get me to laugh at his stuff. And, you know, even still, there's stuff I go back and watch him now, and what I thought was funny then still is funny to me now. So, I wish none but Santino the best. It's just I didn't know he was still with the company. I really didn't. And uh, Alex Riley. All right. Just recently, just watched him get his ass twisted by Shinzo Nakamura. Shinsuke. I'm saying Shinsuke. Sorry about that. And you saw him just get his ass twisted last night on NXT, and look, let's be honest. I'm gonna be honest here. Alex's biggest rub was when he was feuding with Miz. That was probably the biggest push and biggest aspect of his career he was having when he went to being just behind the screen as commentator. I was like, okay, this is working. And then he started feuding, then with Owens, and him and Owens going at it. I'm like, okay, this may push him again, and he may get shot back up to the main roster. I was wrong. I was wrong in that, because he stayed there looking like almost like a broke down Wolverine, in my opinion. Very sober. But it's just like, and he keep coming up with these names. I'm the White Lion, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, well, that lion got killed last night, because it's just like, yeah, it's just like, really, Alex. Look, once again, another talent that maybe TNA or so may think about picking up. You know, it is what it is. But Alex, just to me, he had his biggest rub when he turned on Miz. Other than that, he went nowhere, in my opinion. And that it kind of hurts me saying that, because I thought he was very talented, but it's just, it is what it is. It really is. And then of course we have let me talk about Damian Sandow. Oh man, this one was a shocker to me as well, because this one kind of didn't hurt, but it did was like, I respected what this guy did. When he first came in, I was like, who's this genius wannabe? You remember the Genius? Macho Man's brother. He was the Genius. I was like, who's this genius wannabe? I didn't really, but I appreciated what he tried to do with that role. But then, this is a guy who got himself fucking over by doing some of the, you were just like, really? This guy, he was the stunt guy for the Miz, and he committed himself to that role, and I was like, okay, I gotta give Damian's props for this. Like, he is literally, doing everything the Miz does, and he was spot on, and people got behind it, and I'm just like, this guy got himself over. When he started doing the whole Macho Man stuff, I kind of was like, don't do that, don't do that. I kind of get a little problem when somebody tries to mimic Macho. I'm just like, don't do that. Don't do that. But, I respected what he tried to do, and I respected that he got himself over. There was this meme I saw on Facebook that said, got himself over, but gets released. And another picture was the current champ, Roman Reigns. Can't get himself over, and he's the champ. And I'm like, oh my God. But Damian kind of hurt too. It was like, man, he's another one. I wish him nothing but the best. Once again, if I might start keeping an eye on the web, or keeping an eye on what's going in the house of TNA, or maybe some of the other wrestling, or maybe he go back to maybe the indie circuit, because we may start seeing him again. So yeah, definitely there. And who's the okay? This one was a shocker too. And that's the Brooklyn Brawler. I'm like, what? I'm like, wow. That one caught me off guard. Brawler, y'all remember back in the days, there was always, you had the main star, and then you had almost like the jobber or the enhancement talent. And if you recall, there was always a guy in the ring back in the days who had these cut up jeans. He used to wear this cut up dirty shirt, and like a kind of like a biker like hat. That was the Brooklyn Brawler. And he was usually always almost the enhancement talent for up and coming star or something like that wrestler. But he also did a lot of work backstage for the company. And this one came out of nowhere. I'm like, wow, they let him go after 30 years with the company. I was shocked. I'm like, whoa, really? Word? What? Like, man, that one kind of caught me. I mean, is somebody else going to take his job? Is that that's going on? WWE is like, is there someone more fitted to do his job than he was? I don't know, but this one was a shocker to me, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, fellow wrestling fans, yeah, that was another one. Like, what? Head twist? What? And recently, now we just hear that and the recent one that just came out now is that Christian Captain Charisma has been released as talent for the company, and I would have sworn I remember hearing Christian say he was retired. After he suffered too many concussions. The last concussion he had, I think, was back in May of 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, guys. But Christian, I just felt like his in-ring capabilities was just like, you can't fuck around with them concussions, man. I'm sorry, like, I don't fuck with no concussions, and you start having multiple concussions, that's gonna play a big factor over time, personally. And I just thought, Christian was retired, and I didn't know that, but he's still affiliated with the company in terms of performance, but you still see him, that doesn't affect his contract and stuff with the Edge and Christian show, which is fucking hilarious and so fucking amazing to watch. But that's another one, like, oh, okay. I'm like, I thought I could have sworn this guy was retired from in-ring. Some people say, oh, he may just get a Legends contract. But no, I think, Christian did his thing. This is a guy who left WWE, made his mark in TNA big time, came back to the WWE, finally got that gold that is finally missing out of his resume with the company, even though it was short-lived. But he, say what you want, but he got it. And then he suffered a bad concussion, and like I said, don't fuck with that concussion stuff, man. And it's just, that's it, But yeah, it's just like, that's just a kind of a head turn. But other than that, guys, fellow wrestling fans, that is so far all the releases that have come out of the camp of WWE in the professional wrestling game. Uh, and that was my 100% honesty about all the release, guys. If I missed anything, you guys let me know in the comment section below. But if not, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys enjoyed my 100% thoughts on these releases. Tell me what you thought about these releases. Do you agree with some of the stuff I said? Do you not agree with the stuff I said? Leave your input, as always, in the comment section below. And I will see you guys next Thursday with another edition of Wrestling Talk. And this is Mom Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys, as always. Stay easy, wrestling fans, and I am out of here. I bid you adieu. Take care, guys.